Speak to you soon. So again, we have two talks which join together across the bridge of the healing list of names. To begin with, I'm going to talk about the topic of trust. And then we will work on the second topic, which is working with the right energy. There comes a time in many people's lives that they want to change circumstance. Perhaps they need a new job, more money, a new house, or they want to remove certain things in their life. And they often say, I will trust that this will be so. Now, this word trust may hide many different things. They say they trust, but they may just be covering over fear. Fear of change, fear of making a decision, so therefore they procrastinate. Fear that the current situation is too painful, too difficult, or not satisfactory enough. And they say, I will trust that this will be so. And this trust is actually, at this stage, not associated correctly. It is just blind faith, where they have the opportunity of totally trusting and surrender. Now, I want to describe them in two ways. The first way is one where just the word trust is used and no corresponding action or intention is set. And as I said, this is just blind trust. No effort is made, no course set, no opportunities taken, even if the opportunities are there. But to trust correctly, one must go to the right energy in the right position. And one may set their course from there. And either they do some action, which is a step towards whatever they want, or they surrender totally to divine will. But you cannot surrender to divine will if you are working purely in the ego or the bodily realm. You can only surrender to divine will if you go to the land of the divine. This is the point of stillness and silence. One goes there and hands over the responsibility of one's life to the divine. Now, this is no simple task. It comes with consequence and meaning. The meaning being one accepts whatever then is delivered to you. The consequence is one must take a single step in the right direction themselves first. Just simply sitting watching television, for example, is not surrendering to divine will. But one desires the outcome, sets the intention, if you want, a single step towards it, and then trusts that they will be supported. So even when one surrenders one's life to the divine or to spirit, one must first make a step. And this says that your intentions are true and this is what you actually want. There is no point of just sitting and complaining about your prison cell. You must begin the process of stepping away from it. And the trust then is being supported once that step has been made. Now, there are other aspects that one could follow. They are for a topic for another day. But there was a story that I wish to tell. One of the great sages that became very popular for a while was Nisargadatta. He was once asked about his process of becoming enlightened. And he said, I found my guru and I trusted my guru. And he said to me, you are the divine. And I went rationalizing first and looking for this to be true until I found it was true. I said, I was very lucky that I trusted my guru. You see, he got correct advice and he took the steps himself and he found his outcome. So he got the right information, he took the first step, and then his trust kept him going in the direction that he needed to go, knowing that one day he would find the result that his guru had promised to him. And he became one of the leading sages of India in times not so long ago. So if you are lucky to get the right advice, one should trust the advice. If you trust the source that it comes from, then one can follow it. And we will highlight about the source it comes from in the second part of the talk. You see, you could follow poor advice. How do you tell the difference? Again, this will come up in the second part of the talk. But if you trust truly, it is not sitting still and waiting. It is taking a step and knowing that you will be supported, you will be guided, you will be assisted, and you will achieve your result, all requiring you to make the first commitment. So let us go to the healing list of names now, and then we'll go further into the right energy afterwards and how you can determine whether you've received the right advice or not. May I have the healing list of names, please?
Yes. Claudio, Eduardo, Nigel, Michelle, Kathleen and Anne, Marissa, Hannah, Matt and Peta, Carrie, Amanda Kay, Esther, Eric, Helen, Charlotte, Phil and Aura, Alex, Clay, Eric, Stephen, Matthew, Jules, Don, Marianne, Jody, Jill, Christine, Devon, Jamie, Alexandra, Maisie, Marty Youngman, Gail Murphy, Brian Stern, Wendy, Daniel, and Mirabai. May all be happy. Thank you.
As one practices a spiritual life, one opens the veil between the physical world and the non-physical world. And that opening of the veil may take a little bit of time. But as it opens, gradually, slowly at first, light or energy or love or spirit, if you would like, knowledge too, may begin to flow from the unseen world into the physical world. And as this begins to flow, then the appropriate feelings can start to develop. If this opening, or if you prefer the analogy of a bridge, has not been formed, then one is working purely within the physical world, the world of mind, of ego, of body. But when the opening begins to occur, then the conscious self, the spiritual form, begins to express in the physical world. And all sorts of information or energy or love or healing can start to flow through. And when one is in the true presence of someone that can purely sit in the silent world rather than the world of mind, then the true flow of knowledge will occur. This is not possible if one is sitting within the egoic realm. So if one is sitting with an egoic guide or teacher or group, then one is not truly getting the right teaching or assistance. But when one is sitting in the group where someone, or hopefully the whole group, is availing themselves of the truth of spirit, then one feels very differently. So, if you are lucky enough to attend some groups where this occurs, there is the holding of energy that occurs in groups. It begins close to the very beginning of the session and may terminate just after the end of that session time, which may be 1 hour, 1 day, 1 weekend, 1 week, or still further. So one is truly held in the support of spirit. And that holding means one is gripped and one stays there in the right place. A wise teacher will know when this has occurred, as he'll be able to sit and just feel the connection has taken place. And the true connection of spirit merging with matter, merging with body, has occurred. But if that teacher or guide or leader of the group cannot hold that space, then very quickly one would lose or break this bubble of support. So the energy will hold each member of that group. It may be defined within a room, or even smaller within a certain cabinet that may occur. So the holding of that energy is an important determination of sitting with the right person or persons. Now, if you sit within that group and you can, due to your own ability, feel the connection to be true, then the true flow of either love, energy, or knowledge will start to be perceived, and the information coming to you will start to feel like it is genuine. It will require of both the leader of the group and the one listening that there should be an open heart and open mind. Otherwise, then there is not a true opening. It is a limited opening at best. So think of then of a person that professes to understand but cannot sit in this place. They must be working on the wrong side of the veil. And the veil may not have been opened or opened sufficiently to allow the true flow to take place. So only one that can truly sit in silence can guide from that silence. If one cannot sit in that silence, then you must question whether they can work with an open veil or not. But if the veil is open, there will not just be the words, there will also be the perception of feeling trusted or loved or feeling held into the right place. So when a certain organization undertakes this work, let us say regularly within a same building, then the building will build up that energy of connection. And there is no reason to end a session as such. So if you are a student, you walk into the right place, maybe a temple or a church or the right building, it feels correct to you. Now, the building may feel correct, but that may not mean that the one guiding is correct. You should determine this yourself. So if you are sitting in such a position and you feel that this is the right position and the right group or the right leader, then let the words resonate within you. Let them sit within your being. And if they feel they are in the right direction, then this is your opportunity to trust. If they feel they are not in the right direction to you, just look inside first. Make sure you are also in the right position. Make sure your ego hasn't judged or criticized. Let yourself be open. And if this is satisfactory, one can take a step in the right way. You see, you can spend many a day, perhaps many a month, many a year, trying to find what is right for you. The feelings and sensations and safety, if we can use that word, safety that you feel in the right place will determine that your path is in the right direction. Now, when this has all worked perfectly, you are feeling you're in the right position, the group is right, the room is right, the flow of connection, of healing, of message, of love feels true to you also, then certain synchronicities will start to occur for you. Remember, all parties are open at this stage. The flow of love, knowledge, or may be so strong that energy may start to create further situations which will support your intention there. You see, consciousness is creating the matter. Consciousness is creating the physical form. Consciousness is creating the life that you are experiencing. And it is just watching this process. You see, consciousness doesn't actually have to create anything. It just comes up within it. And the creation is visible in front of the one that watches it. So as long as all circumstances are true, it will feel like you are being guided, supported, validated for your path to be right. The conscious self is creating the stepping stones for your future or the path that you wish to lead. If in the next moment or a little later one closes off to the spiritual connection and closes the veil, and let us say works back in the world of mind and ego for a while, then the true creation of validation must stop. Although the synchronicities created by the true connection may not have yet come into appearance. Meaning you created them and they are to appear later, but in between time you may have broken your connection to your spiritual truth. But if you then block, hold back, fall into trauma of some kind, you may not even see the synchronicities, the ones that you have craved so much, that you need just to prove to yourself you are right. But if you stop just for a minute, if you recognize what you are doing, you have closed the veil, you are living in ego and pain and trauma, or the physical world. If you recognize that, stop. Reconnect to what is true. And the light then begins to shine one more time. The light points forward. And then there appears to be a path that has been created. But it was there prior, you just could not see it. So if you are going to be like Nisargadatta, the one sits, finds the right connection, holds that connection, trusts, undertakes some effort, keeps trusting, does not give in, takes the steps and is supported along the way. The veil becomes so open that success is guaranteed. That person, Nisargadatta, could have easily stopped trusting his guru, saying, well, it's not occurred yet, why not? Or sat and just said, I trust it will happen one day. and those days pass by. It is far wiser to be the tortoise and not the hare. So if you are developing your spiritual connection, if you are developing your true connection to your own self, or maybe you are developing for the expression or a modality of some kind, listen to the silence. Be with the stillness. Let the opening of truth be revealed to you by the truth of you. Recognize you fall or could fall into the wrong side of the veil. It would be perfectly normal. And then return to the silence in your practice. Feel the energy of the one that guides you. Feel the energy of the room that you sit in when that guidance is taking place. Observe inwards to make sure you are in the right space as well. And then do the work with the first steps. If you wish to first set an intention, set it only once and say, this is my path. This is what I want, but you must step onto that. Otherwise, your free will of sitting still and doing nothing will be granted. And when one does nothing, well, do not be surprised if nothing changes. So there is beauty awaiting for all people. Your success is assured. The time it takes you is up to you. So you can sit under a tree and wait for 1,000 years if you want. Or you can begin your work today and achieve it in a very small fraction of that time. So the moral of today's talk is align yourself with truth. Know that truth. Know it inside of you and all around you, including in front of you. Take a step and trust. Expect at times you will lose your way and fall in the wrong side. That is normal. You are not judged by that. As soon as you recognize, get back onto the path and walk. There is another story that I wish to tell. There was a king, and the king had a juvenile son. And the prince, one day, when he was very young, had lots of anger and energy. And one morning, that prince took a stick and broke everything he could see within his room, including the most glorious chandelier. And the assistant to the prince tried his best to control him. And eventually went to see the king and said, "King, this is what has happened." And the king said, "Well, let us rejoice. Open the treasury and let's have a feast." And the assistant said, "Did you hear me correctly? Your prince has broken everything." And the king said, Well, at least now he is finding his way and his truth. It's not the error that's important. It is the action. And the action, although appears in this example to be poorly guided, meant that this child now is taking responsibility for his action. And is taking steps along the way to his own growth. The broken things will be replaced. He will understand his need, but he is stepping along the right way. And this is something to celebrate. You see, it is not the error that is being judged here. It is the process of the true spiritual heart that is being recognized. If you hear that story, the first thing you perhaps may hear and judge would be, well, he broke everything, he must fix it. But listen deeper to it. The spiritual heart of that child has now opened and is making effort in the way of managing himself. So the error in terms of spiritual judgment, if we could use that term, means one is seeing that he is stepping forward, not the error of breaking things along the way. So you may fall off your path many, many times, but it is your heart that's being viewed and judged by us. We see your heart opening. We see the courage you are using to step along your path. Not the broken material world. That's of little consequence. We see your courage. The human world sees your error. The courage, of course, means a single step. And the trusting that all will be well. And my spiritual form has just grown just a little. But a little to begin with soon fills a whole bucket. One little bit of courage promotes the next piece of courage. So when you are working with the right energy, and you've assured yourself that it is correct, and you are pointing your nose in the right direction, what choice do you have? To trust or to sit under the tree and wait 1,000 years? What will you pick? If your courage is opened, why not use it? And your freedom, your goal, your direction then is certain, and we support you from then on. So use the right energy in your work. You will know, because you'll feel you're in the right place. Until we talk again, may God bless you all.
God bless you, Ignatius. God bless everyone.
Oh.